Hello and good morning. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab whatever it is that you wish to drink. We are here for a chat. I currently have just Walmart donut shop coffee with almond milk to stretch and pumpkin spice creamer and cinnamon. But anyway, if it looks like a scam and smells like a scam, it more than likely is a scam. Okay. Trying to give a little bit of a trajectory on where we are going today. Okay. So, we've already, if you've been around long enough to remember beings like Miss Cleo, you would understand this. You would understand the con mentality when it comes to some, not all, some spiritual people. There are people who prey on others, especially the vulnerable. You know, they're hurting, they're grieving, maybe they've been through trauma, maybe they just lost someone very dear to them, whether it's an animal or a human being. It just, you get the evil, sadistic people. I call them evil. I know. Whatever. Just those who get it, and those who won't. Anyway. There are people who prey on others. I won't go there. But I have stumbled upon somebody, which no one will be surprised by this. TikTok. Okay? And the thing is that it's not just TikTok. Okay? I haven't even fully dove into the whole witch talk shit, because I've heard things and I'm still over my whole little cave. Like, I'll scope some people out, and those who complain about the other witch talk people who are just like, yeah, they just kind of like cringe at it in general. Those are my people. Because I also cringe at some of the rest of the community, because it's all part of a whole community. It's not just one platform or another. They're just all kind of like meshed together in an umbrella. But anyway, so I found, because I'm nosy and I have my interests, but I found I had to be careful on the wording, okay, because I don't know if it's trademarked. It mixes witchcraft and fitness. Two very common terms in one title. Anyway. So, this particular person, again, I'm not going to name names because I'm not going to get into trouble for talking about them and blah, blah, blah. At first, it was kind of like, ooh, you sound interesting. Okay? Because again, I personally have my interests, and I kind of like the aesthetic vibe that was going on with her lovely colored hair. But then I dug deeper. Always dig deeper. Always question things. Because that's when you find shit. So I went to her page, and even on the little video that I clicked on, she said her to start out with her little mini course, which is $27, which is not that bad. It's not bad. I mean, there are fitness apps that run for $20 to $30 a month. But again, I dug deeper. The $27 is just to start out. Okay? That's just like a discussion. That's a mini consultation vibe check. Okay? And then she goes on to say that, you know, for people who want to lose 30 plus pounds and, you know, basically invest in themselves and go all or nothing, it is for the fitness and spiritual wellness. It's $10,000 for 1 fucking year. Or you can break it down to like $834 a month. I don't know about you, and I understand that there are people who can afford this, okay? But a lot of people literally cannot with the world that we are in. And I understand that we cannot control what other people do, including this one individual who has her pricing like this. Okay? I get it. I understand it. But holy fucking shit, you are preying on vulnerable people, because she mentions about releasing trauma, releasing anxiety, just pretty much the whole fitness spiel with a spiritual twist on it and a $10,000 price tag for 1 year. Do not go into debt trying to heal yourself. Like, it just, you're just going to dig yourself a bigger hole. If you can afford it, I mean, if you really want to, go for it. But like, I even side-eye retreats that are like 5,000, 3,000, like, those are just, I mean, it really depends on the length, because it's one of those, if it's priced like a vacation, then I can understand it. Okay? But there are some people that just, I mean, if you're going to be sitting in a room, retreat-wise, okay? If you're going to be sitting in a room surrounded by other people, like, at that point, me personally, okay, me personally, this has nothing to do with any other body's opinion. I would then not feel like an individual person and just part the paycheck. Like, I would just look around and see cha-ching, 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 instead of the individual who should be there. Like, I would literally feel bad for myself and them. But I'm not. I wouldn't. But beyond just the price, okay? The price is outrageous. Beyond just the price, things are smelling fishy. Okay? In the video that I don't remember what it said before, but I have this quote on of how all this shit really does work faster than normal personal training and even therapy. That is a bit of a stretch, because individual people work better individually. That sounds stupid. Different people have different ways of healing, okay? Different methods are going to work best for them. It is up to that individual to figure out what they are. Mine is pain therapy. Mine is, I've already discussed this before, in a safe, professional environment. You know, I do not self-harm, okay? I've never self-harmed. Like, it literally makes me even queasy to even think about it. That's me. I've never even pierced myself. I mean, I've shoved my studs through this one. But, because the back was kind of closing over, but, like, I reopened it. But I didn't want to spend $30 to $60 in order to re-pierce my lobe. Saving money. But, anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, beyond just, you know, some people dance it out. Some people sing it out. Some people scream it out. You know, scream, cry, like that inner primal screaming that you've been holding in for years. It's one of those grab a pillow, scream into the fucking void. Ugly sob until you feel literally empty, and then take a nap. Because naps, you know, kind of like reset shit. Like, I had to do that quite a bit in the beginning of my healing journey. Even though mine was mostly in the shower, so then I didn't scare my children. But some people waste. I will get to that. You know what? I like that. I will mention that later. Okay, we're going to continue on with my little notes here. Someone commented, need help for this loose skin and lipedema. Response: start with the webinar or the exploration mini course. If you have a lot of loose skin, the only thing that's going to help it, I'm sorry, is surgery. That's the only thing that's going to help with excessive loose skin. If it's something minor, it will take time. It will take time. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say something and have to backtrack again, because I've done that before. It just... And if I'm remembering correctly what lymphedema is, you probably need a doctor. And I understand that healthcare these days is questionable within the states. I don't want to say something that will get me into trouble, but you're gonna need a doctor. Go to a doctor first. You do not need to spend $10,000 on a random person you do not know to, like, that sounds stupid and contradictory. Moving on to, can I heal chronic UTIs with the help of this? Response: considering the spiritual meaning of UTIs, I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Again, you probably need a doctor. There is one person that I know. I won't say who she is. She knows who she is, because she's the one who told me. Who had a hole in their heart. They were born with heart defects. Okay. And she managed to heal that with meditation. Now, you're probably like, well, if this person can do that, then why is it not possible? I'm not saying that's not possible. But you do need a medical backup. You need a safety net. Because what if it doesn't work? Our physical bodies are very complex systems. And I'm just gonna say it. I'm probably gonna get into trouble, but I'm just gonna say it. There are times to where you have to step back into reality and take your head out of the clouds. Not everything is about the spiritual world, and you need to take care of your physical body in a physical way. So, you can implement spiritual ways while getting the physical help. Because even that's kind of like how, like, if you were to cast a weight loss spell, you can't just cast the spell and then just sit there on your rump doing everything that you've been doing to not lose the weight and expect to drop weight. If you cast the spell, you have to also... It's a spiritual oomph. Not oomph. I don't know what oomph is. It is magical... I won't say that. It's just... It's a little bit of seasoning in the mix. It is like... It's help. It's spiritual help. It's one of those, okay, well, I've been trying, now I need a little bit of assistance because what I'm doing isn't working. I've been to the doctor, I've been to everything else. You cast a spell. It might work, it might not. And that's the iffy thing about, you know, spirituality and witchcraft. It's just... You put it out and you have to trust that the universe knows best. And I'm probably not making a lick of fucking sense. It's one of those, I know what I mean. Now, whether it is conveyed or not to those who will understand me, that's a whole nother story. Now, the little thought that I had earlier, since I remembered. Things not to do for a healing journey. Do not dive into the bottle. The now ex-friend, that's how he dealt with his trauma. He dove into the bottle. If you've already dove into the bottle, find a way to get yourself back out, because all that you're doing is drowning. That alcohol is not helping you. And anyone that glorifies alcoholics, that's fishy to me. Drugs. Stay away from drugs. DARE program. Stay away. Say no to drugs. I grew up with the DARE program. But, me personally, do not like things fucking with my head. If it alters my reality of what is reality, and I start, I personally don't like it. I tried taking anxiety meds in 2021, and I could literally feel when it kicked in because it felt like I was walking through a haze. And I stopped taking it. And when my doctor asked why I stopped taking it, it's like, because I don't like how it makes my head feel. I'm very in tune with, especially my head. Like, I've hugged people and could literally feel my brain throbbing, releasing the hormones into my body. I know it's weird. I call it my braingasm from hugging people, because I was so traumatized and hurt that I could literally just feel it throbbing in order to flood my system with the happy hormones. That's how sensitive I am to my own body. But I also understand that people do use drugs to cope with trauma. Addicts are not necessarily bad people. They're just, they have trauma that either they don't want to face, which I fully understand. I have trauma that I do not want to face right now. Okay, I get it. They're running from something. Or sometimes trauma is so fucking heavy that they would rather not be alive anymore. Without saying a certain word. But, taking their own lives. And for some, it could be very dangerous for them to stop. But I understand addicts. I understand why they're addicts. If you are not an addict, but if you're flirting with the idea of doing drugs, please do not. It is not going to save you. It's going to slap on a band-aid. Okay? Also, because this is something that other people had done, and it's one of those, I get it, but I do side-eye people for it. And that is, thinking you can fuck your way to healing. Like, literally meshing your body with another person. Whoever that person may be. I'm not going to judge you on your preference. I'm just going to tell you that when you are with someone in a very intimate manner, that is an energy exchange. They're getting your energy and whatever toxic crap that you have. You're getting their energy and whatever toxic crap that they have. Whether you know them or not. Because there are people who decide not to sleep with strangers too. Or they do one-night stands, or, you know, oh hey, this is my best friend, I'm just gonna do it once. Or maybe it's a very toxic individual that you are with. That's not going to heal you. That's just going to create even more wounds, because now you're dealing with your crap and their crap because you absorbed that energy. And a lot of times, especially for females, we are very emotional beings. Women are especially emotional beings. And we end up developing emotional attachments very quickly. Okay. Guys do it too, but that's called love bombing. Okay. So when you sleep with a stranger, again, no matter who it is, you are creating an emotional attachment to that person. Which again causes just another thing that you're going to have to deal with. You don't need to involve other people in intimate matters when it comes to your healing journey. At least not in that way. Okay. You don't... In a literal, risque sense. Do not fuck around and find out. Okay. We got raunchy there for a minute. But I don't know how else in order to better explain this, okay? You don't need a $10,000 a year program. You don't need alcohol. You do not need drugs. You do not need illegal substances. I should say that. That's what I should say. Because there are, you know, prescribed drugs that actually do help. Not that I take them. But again, it's one of those I understand and I support. I cannot handle them. So, you do not need to fuck people. You need to find what works for you. Okay. Like, your mind, your body will literally tell you. If you listen, it will tell you what it needs. Whether that's screaming into the void. Whether that's ugly crying. Whether it's screaming into the void and ugly crying. Just don't scare the neighbors, your animals, or your children, or anybody else that you may or may not live with, because some people live in apartments, so don't scare the neighbors. Don't make it sound like you're being murdered, even though it probably feels like you are. And do not be surprised that you are not just magically healed. Okay? Because I had unrealistic expectations when I first started out in my healing journey, because it's like, oh, well, you know, people just magically up and heal themselves. What's wrong with me? Nothing was wrong with me. It takes time. You're like an onion peeling away the layers. And you're that little tiny fucking piece in the center. And you're not using a knife to cut all the way down. You're just ever so slowly digging through. And sometimes shit grows back. Sometimes it keeps growing back and you have to deal with it 10, 20 times. Maybe you need to bitch about it 10, 20 times. Maybe you need to verbally get it out. That's another thing that helps me. Is I can write it out and I'll feel a little bit better. But when I verbally get it out, and especially if I feel heard and understood, that helps a lot. I have verbally told my tattoo artist things that I probably shouldn't have. It was one of those things that's like, oh my god, someone actually listens and responds and remembers, like, the place that I was at if we got interrupted in the middle of me talking. And that was a huge moment. It's just like, I actually feel seen and heard. And that's huge for a lot of people, because humans are community type people. We are very emotionally attached to each other. If you haven't noticed, if you park in bumfuck nowhere in the middle of the parking lot, like all the way the fuck, like, away, don't be surprised when someone parks next to you. Because we are, like, heard. People get upset when people say that people are animals, but we're animals. We're just part of the animal kingdom. We're just a different species. But we are definitely herd-like. We are very family-oriented. You know, animals are more emotionally intelligent than we are. So, Yeah, I just... Also, if you're gonna go for, since I brought it up, if you're gonna go for piercings and or tattoos, do it professionally. Go to professional. Look up reviews. Review them, because there are some people who will pierce you just to pierce you, and you'll be out of however much money that you spent, and you don't even have the right anatomy for it, but they didn't want to tell you that because they wanted the paycheck. Or, you know, you go for a tattoo and it ends up being very shitty. Yeah. They can end up shitty, they can end up blown out. There's just a whole mess of things. And if the person that you're talking to, again, if they look like a scam, smell like a scam, it's probably a scam, because they can scam you too. Scooby-Doo. I've literally have been verbally jumped by a group of guys by making this reference, but Scooby-Doo taught us that humans are the monsters. You have to be careful. I love people, but there are a whole lot of people that I do not, because they prey on the weak and the vulnerable. Not the weak. Not saying that you're not strong. If you are wounded, you are weak. If you are sick, maybe your body's weak. Okay? I'm not calling you or anybody else a weakling. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. You are vulnerable. If they prey on the vulnerable, find someone else. You deserve to be treated right. I don't give a shit how you have been treated, how bad you have been treated. You deserve better. Find the people who will treat you better, and treat you at the very least, with human decency, and treat you like another human being, and not like a damn dog on the street. You deserve better. And when you believe that, you'll see it. You'll see how others prey on the vulnerable, where you once were. And it will enrage you. And make you go, what the fuck? Some people don't care. Some people only care about a paycheck. So, thank you. If you watched all this, thank you. Okay. I hope you have a nice day. And I will talk to you guys later.